Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're going to tackle a common issue that many Ansible users face: roles or tasks not returning the correct value. If you've ever encountered this problem while working with Ansible, you know how frustrating it can be. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what's going on and how to troubleshoot and resolve this issue. Ansible is an incredibly powerful tool for automating its tasks, but like any complex system, it has its quirks. Roles and tasks are fundamental building blocks in Ansible, allowing you to organize your playbooks and reuse code. However, when they don't behave as expected, it can be a real challenge to figure out what's going wrong. In this video, we'll dive into the world of Ansible roles and tasks, exploring how they work and why they might not always return the values you expect. We'll break down the concepts into simple, easy-to-understand parts, using examples and analogies to help illustrate the key points. So let's start with a brief overview of how Ansible roles and tasks work. In Ansible, a role is essentially a predefined set of tasks that can be reused across multiple playbooks. Think of it like a blueprint for a specific task or process. When you create a role, you define the tasks that make up that role, and then you can use those roles in your playbooks. Now, when it comes to returning values from roles or tasks, Ansible uses something called registered variables. These are essentially variables that get set during the execution of a task or role, and they can be used later on in your playbook. However, here's where things can get tricky if you're not careful about how you define and use these registered variables. You might end up with unexpected results. One common issue is that roles or tasks don't always return values in the format you expect. For example, let's say you have a role that runs a command and captures the output as a string. If that output contains special characters or formatting, it might not get parsed correctly when you try to use it later on. Another issue is that Ansible has some specific rules about how variables are scoped and inherited. This can lead to situations where a variable gets set in one task or role, but then doesn't get propagated to the next task or role as expected. To avoid these kinds of issues, it's essential to understand how Ansible handles variable scoping and inheritance. You also need to be mindful about how you define and use registered variables within your roles and tasks. One good practice is to always explicitly set the type of a variable when you register it, so that Ansible knows what kind of data to expect. So let's summarize the main points we've covered. Roles and tasks are fundamental building blocks in Ansible. Registered variables are used to capture output from roles and tasks. Variable scoping and inheritance can be tricky to navigate. Always explicitly set variable types when registering them. That's it for today's video on troubleshooting Ansible roles and tasks that don't return the correct value. We hope you now have a better understanding of how Ansible handles variables and how to avoid common pitfalls. If you've encountered any issues with roles or tasks not returning values as expected, please share your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel for more Ansible tutorials and troubleshooting tips. Finally, don't forget to ask questions in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and help you overcome any challenges you're facing with Ansible. Thanks for watching.